Shabbat Shalom. It's Ebrahimoff, the Haftorahman. This week's Parsha, Pinchas. Pinchas ben Elazar HaKohen. So, we're reading a Haftorah. We should pick a Haftorah with a thematic connection. So why do we read this Haftorah? Well, it's about Eliyahu Hanavi. Yes, the great Eliyahu. This is one of my favorite Haftorahs, and I say that frequently. So, Eliyahu Hanavi is said to also be Pinchas ben Elazar, that he morphed from being Pinchas into Eliyahu. That's some explanations, that it's the same neshama, it is the same soul. Now, what do we know about Eliyahu Hanavi? A lot. That he is the one, every time we make Havdalah, we sing, Eliyahu Hanavi. Yes, the singing Haftorahman. Eliyahu HaTishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu HaGiladi. He's from up north, Gilad. He's a Tishbi. He's the one, the predecessor of the Mashiach. So he lived in the time the Beis HaMikdash was standing, and for you Sephardim, the Beit HaMikdash was standing. I'm Sephardic. And that he is the one that led the nation of Israel when they were down. It said from the 600,000 people that had nevuah, had the spiritual prophecy connection to God in the time of Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon, maybe 100 to 150 years later, there were only 7,000 people left in the land of Israel that don't worship Asherah. Boom! Decimated would be great. This is the worst of the worst. And Eliyahu is the one that challenged Achav and Izebel at Har Carmel to say, let's just settle this once and for all. Different Haftarah. This Haftarah is right afterwards, when the lightning bolt comes down from the heavens and we see that Hashem hu Elokim, that Yud Kei Vav Kei is the God, and not Baal. Okay, so here the Haftarah begins. It's in the book of Melachim Aleph. It's about Eliyahu Hanavi. These stories took place up north. And V'yad Hashem hoisa el Eliyahu vayishanes masnav vayoretz lifnei Achav. So now he's running in front of Achav, trying to catch up with him. What's happening? Achav had to go back home to his wife. Yes, the evil, infamous Jezebel, the woman who wanted to wipe out every person that believed in Yud Kei Vav Kei, in Hashem, Elokim. She wanted to get rid of them. And now that she hears what Eliyahu Hanavi does, and what does Eliyahu Hanavi said? He said, you want to know something? I'm going to get out of here because she's going to come and try and kill me. So I'm heading down south as far as I can go. And that he was afraid that she was going to kill him. So now he goes into the desert, and then he goes and that he gets a little bit of food that the raven, remember earlier that he hid out as well and he was fed by the raven. Now he gets a little bit of food and water, and then he goes up, and now he's in the cave of Moshe Rabbeinu. He's in the cave and he's sitting there and he's meditating and he's thinking to himself, I'm done. So there's some dispute whether this is sort of God pulling the job away from him or him handing in his resignation. Either way, Eliyahu Navi, a zealous man who made God show up and prove to everybody that Hashem hu Elokim, is now saying, this is a thankless job. I'm now being sought after by the queen of Israel, Yisrael, the 10 northern tribes. Is she trying to murder me? I'm not in this game no more. I don't want to play this game. God, I'm done. And God says, no problem. And one of the most amazing phrases and passages in all of Nevi'im, in all of the Haftorahs, it says, Lo v'ruach Hashem, ve'achar haruach ra'ash, ve'lo bera'as Hashem, ve'achar hara'ash eish, lo va'eish Hashem, ve'achar ha'eish kol demama daka. So what is happening? Where's the energy? He's seeking God. And it is not in the spirit, in the winds, like a hurricane came by. And it's not in the thunder and lightning, the noise. It's not there. God is not there. And it's not in this fiery situation where you have this appearance of great fires. It's not. This is not where God is. And that what happened is, Kol demama daka. It's beautiful. A soft, quiet voice of Hashem spoke to Eliyahu Hanavi. And now Eliyahu Hanavi has been given 3 instructions. He says, you want to retire? You want to hang up the cloak? No problem. But here's what you got to do. I need you to appoint Hazael, the king of Aram, not a Jewish king, Aramite. Then I want you to appoint Yehu ben Nimshi as the king of Yisrael, the 10 northern tribes. And here we go. You have to have a successor. Every great man who's watching this video, think to yourself, have you established continuity? If you have a bracha, it's up to you to make sure that you continue your life's blessings into a student. You're the master, teach someone your blessing. I have met and befriended many mentors that have not established continuity. You must establish continuity. It's very important. So what is Eliyahu now is told to appoint Elisha, his spiritual successor. And he goes and he seeks out Elisha. He's out in the field plowing, and he goes up to him, and he then says to him, you're going to be coming with me. You're going to be my student. And they offer up Korban LaHashem, a sacrifice to God. And then Elisha is told to say so long to the parents, because he's going with Eliyahu Hanavi. And that this is the middle of a great, great story about Eliyahu and Elisha, the greatest spiritual dynamic duo that the Jewish people ever knew. And that Elisha followed Eliyahu Hanavi until Eliyahu Hanavi ascended up to the heavens, and in the greatest pasuk that you could hear, Avi, Avi, Rechev Yisrael, my father, the chariot of Israel. That Elisha loved Eliyahu. It was a great partnership. And Eliyahu told him one thing, extraordinarily beautiful. I may be going up to the heavens, but just remember one thing. You wanted to get double my blessing? Bind your soul to my soul. They will be so intertwined that they're inseparable, that when you go anywhere, you're never by yourself. You're always with me, and you will always have the power of 2. And this is the objective, that each and every one of us should find that friend, that spouse, that partner, that person to creatively collaborate, that together it is not a life that we do it by ourselves, but we do this in achdus, oneness, not in singularity, but by taking 2 separate parts and combining them together and giving it a spiritual force, a spiritual momentum that is far greater than the sum of its parts. Shabbat Shalom. Enjoy this fantastic Haftorah.